Hey guys, welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. So you guys love the Scarlet Speedster so much that we're back at it again with another top 10 list about the Flash. But this time we're changing it up a bit and focusing a little bit more on the OG Flash, Jay Garrick. So let's jump right in. In at number 10, he was the first Flash. Okay, so here's a fact that a lot of you might already know. Jay Garrick was the first Flash, appearing in Flash Comics number 1 in 1940. Barry Allen wouldn't show up until years later in 1956. When the popularity of superheroes started to decline after World War II, people had a hard time buying into them when atrocities like the Holocaust had just occurred. The 3 series Garrick appeared in were all cancelled: All-Star Comics, All Flash, and Flash Comics. Garrick wouldn't be reintroduced until the Silver Age in 1961. And at number 9 we have live-action appearances. Jay has appeared in a number of live-action adaptations of The Flash. While most of them were centered on other DC Comics characters, he has a slew of memorable cameos, including Smallville, CW's The Flash, and the 1990 television version of The Flash. The latter is actually more of an illusion though. Barry Allen's older brother's name is Jay Allen, and he's murdered in the first episode, firing Barry to start his career of heroism. And at 8 we have Football Star. After an accident in his lab gives him powers, but more on that later, Garrick decided to use his powers for more personal reasons. Initially. By being a bit of a college football star, that is. Garrick manages to get a bunch of touchdowns, confusing his opposing teams, and even manages to sneak in some time during the games to flirt with his future wife, Joan. And at 7 we've got his Elseworlds identities. Jay Garrick has appeared in several Elseworlds comic books over the years, most notably in the JSA The Unholy Tree, where he appears as an intelligence agent post-World War II who is stationed in Russia, working under the code name Mercury. And more depressingly, he appears in Wonderland, where Jay Garrick never actually gets his powers from his accident in his lab, and he dies during World War II. And at 6 we have Jay has a Reverse Flash. While Barry Allen's nemesis, the Reverse Flash, didn't show up until 1963, Garrick's version of the Reverse Flash, aka Rival, first appeared in Flash Comics 104 in 1949. Dr. Edward Claris was a professor at the same university Jay went to, and he recreated the formula that caused Garrick's powers. When he's rejected by the scientific community though, he becomes a criminal and is eventually caught when the formula wears off. In later appearances in 2000, he's driven insane by the Speed Force, going on a killing spree, causing Garrick to absorb his speed power before he can kill Garrick's wife. And at 5 we have Justice Society of America. Jay Garrick was one of the founding members of the Justice Society of America. Other members include Green Lantern, Dr. Fate, Hawkman, the Atom, Spectre. Eventually he became too popular and got another series called All Flash, and the team made him an honorary member in 1941 in All-Stars issue 6 volume 1. And as you guessed it, the Green Lantern shared a similar fate, and many credit their membership on this team as the start of the Flash and the Green Lantern's beautiful friendship in later years, despite Garrick being out of the picture. And at 4 we have his costume. As we mentioned earlier, Jay Garrick was a bit of a football star right after he got his powers, and that played into his costume. His famous lightning bolt red shirt was actually his football jersey, and his iconic helmet? It was his father's helmet during World War I that he added wings to, based on the Roman god Mercury. And at 3 we have the New 52 origin. Jay Garrick was reintroduced in the New 52 as a 21-year-old college grad struggling to figure out what to do with his life. Look at you trying to be relevant, DC. Cute. Anyway, he gets his powers from Mercury, a dying Roman god who sees bravery in him and turns him into a bit of a demigod. His suit also got a revision that kinda looks like a 60s portrayal of a spaceman. So there's that. And at 2 we have Not Powered by the Speed Force. Speaking of the accident that gave Jay his powers, did you guys know that they don't actually derive from the Speed Force like the other Flashes? He accidentally inhales hard water vapors when taking a smoke break in his lab, which is not safe at all, but hey, whatever, activating a latent metagene in Garrick and giving him his superhuman speed abilities. And finally at number 1, his return. While Garrick was mentioned as a comic book character when Barry Allen's Flash came on the scene in 1956, it wasn't until 1961's The Flash number 123 that Garrick would make an actual return to the DC universe. In the story called The Flash of Two Worlds, Earth 2 was introduced, where Barry Allen travels to Earth 2, arriving in Keystone City where Garrick has retired. The two of them team up to take down the Fiddler, the Shade, and the Thinker. Rumor has it that the cover was actually a prank that artist Carmine Infantino pulled on DC editor Julius Schwartz, thinking that Julius would never be able to create a story featuring both Flashes. But he did, and it ended up creating the DC multiverses in the process. There we have it, guys. Any Jay Garrick facts we missed out on? Let us know in those comments below. And give us a shout if you want to see more lists on Golden Age versions of your favorite heroes. But for now, I'm Kelly Pally, and you've been watching Top 10 Nerd. I'll catch you guys in the next one.